that I'm at an all-time.
Hey, what is going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day, and today got a little bit of a catch-up, a little bit of a funny story that happened actually to me today, just a few hours ago. I think it's hysterical. If you are an Apple user, please watch this till the end and beware. Don't get scammed by this, guys. I almost got scammed, and I don't even own an Apple. I was just trying to help a friend out, and they were trying to scam me, but I'm too smart for them, you see. I'm gonna land somewhere really remote, that way I can play and talk at the same time. Not a lot of people upload Fortnite live comms, so I think it's really interesting and unique that I'm doing this. Most people do, like, they got a really crazy gameplay, or it was funny, like or they do like those, like, almost like not a montage, but sort of like they just clip up what was funny and happened and whatnot. So I just think it's interesting. You never see people live comment. Here I am, I'm gonna live comment Fortnite. Anyway, a little bit of a catch-up for you guys. For starters, if you haven't noticed, I am on the Xbox One playing Fortnite Battle Royale. The last time you guys saw me, I was playing on PC. So, a little bit of a change there. And the reason I made that change was I was just getting stomped by PC players. And the reason that was happening was because I haven't consistently played PC games until Fortnite came out. I would every once in a while play like CSGO and Gmod, but I sucked at both those games. I never took them serious. And they were, you know what I mean, they were very casual games for me, so I wasn't good at PC. So now I'm trying to learn a new game. On top of learning a new game, I was trying to learn a new format, you know, from Xbox to PC, because I've always played console my whole life. So I was just making it like quadrillion times harder on my life than I really should have been, really needed to be. Hold on, let me get this real quick. Quick and easy, boys. Heard him walking up on me. I need pistol eliminations, even though I really don't want to take this pistol. So, yeah, so I ended up making the conversion to go ahead and cross over to Xbox instead, since I'm really familiar with it. Ooh, I'll take that pistol happily. Anyway, guys, though, I am going to go ahead now and move on to the little story I got. So, to give you a picture, to, like, paint you a picture where I'm at right now, like, why I was put in the position I was put in. So, a buddy of mine from work, his name's Eli. If you're watching this, what is up? He knows of my YouTube channel, guys. He knows of you. We have been discovered. It was kind of embarrassing at first, but it's cool now, whatever. Anyway, we were at work. He was having an issue with his iPhone where it wasn't letting him update apps, and every time he would click to try and update them, it would ask for a credit card. And he doesn't have a credit card, I guess, or whatever, so he asked me if he could use mine. He said it shouldn't charge him. He said he doesn't even know why it's asking it for him in the first place. You know, he asked me, just like, can I please, you know, use yours? So he didn't really ask me. I more like offered. I'm like, here, if you need that, I got you. I'll hook you up. You know, it's fine. Because he said it should. Well, I told him, like, it's not going to charge me, right? He said, no, it shouldn't. And he said, and if it does, I'll pay you back. And he's a genuine dude. I know if, and he's going to. I know if that was the case, that he's going to pay me back. I just know he is. He's a really genuine person, like I already said. I let him use my credit card. He types it in. Oh, it works. Now his apps are updated. And yeah, everything's fine. And then a couple weeks later, well, actually today, and the purchase went out on July 23rd, it was, yeah. And so today I went on my statements to check it out. I was just looking at my credit card statements to see what's up, and I noticed that it charged me for an Apple product, and his is the only Apple device that I've ever connected to, so I knew it was his. Man, I wish I would have found these minis before I took that 50 pot. So anyway, like I said, fast forward to now. I finally get charged, and I message him like, hey, you know, that car, I ended up getting charged from your iTunes account. It popped up in my credit card as Apple iTunes. And he asked me for how much. I told him it was like 26 bucks, not a big deal, you know. I said, when you get a chance, pay me back, I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, he's going to. So, then, we're trying to figure out where the, you know, the purchases was for. He was like, you know, he's like, that's bullshit, I don't even know what it's for. I don't know how they were legally able to charge me. Well, let me tell you, he called customer support, and he got a number, and they told him that what happened was, I guess when you buy something, they wait 10 days to charge the card for some reason. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's what they told him. So what had happened was this gift card he had, because like I said, he doesn't have a credit card. Well, we got like a $100 gift card from work. So what had ended up happening was he took this $100 gift card, he bought the stuff, but then he proceeded to go and spend the gift card elsewhere. And what had happened was 10 days later, when Apple went to go charge the gift card, it was empty. So it pended on his account, and what they did was they blocked him from updating stuff till he put in a payment option, and a valid payment option, and updated the stuff. So 10 days later, Well, what had happened was he made a purchase with the gift card, then he went and spent it, and then the gift card didn't pay for the stuff he bought because 10 days later it had no funds. So it wasn't letting him upstate stuff. I let him use my credit card. 10 days after I let him use my credit card, they recharged him the money, and obviously my credit card had balance, so they charged me. Anyway, so he calls Apple and he figured out what was going on, why it happened, how it happened. He said he's going to pay me back. In the meantime, I also called Apple. I don't know how he got their number, but the way I got their number, I went to Google and I just typed in Apple support, or you know what I mean? Apple support. It popped up, it said Apple, iTunes, blah, 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 support, call center number or something. So I just clicked on it and called. Meanwhile, a guy picks up. He says, you know, thank you for calling Apple support. How can I help you today? I explained to him what's going on. Hey, my friend, you know, the account was having this issue. I let him use my credit card. It got charged. I was like, it's not fraudulized or nothing like that. All I want to know is what the charge was for. Because like I said, we found out what it was for eventually, but at the time I didn't know and he didn't know. We were on the lines with Apple at like the same exact time, basically. I called him maybe a couple minutes ahead of time. And, you know, he asked for all the basic information. What's the email address linked to the Apple account? What's the, you know, very basic stuff. What's this and that. Really simple stuff. You know, a name that's associated with the account. I was like, hold on a second. I'll get the owner's information. I was like, it's not my account. I just want to know what the purchase was for. Because we were trying to figure out what it was for. And since it popped up in my credit card statements, I had a reference number, a link to it. And I was like, look, I have a reference number with the purchase. Can you use that? He said, sure. He took it and all that happiness. You know, it seemed pretty legit for a second. And then, eventually we got to a point where he said what had happened. What the guy told me happened was my IP was hacked and any accounts associated on any devices got hacked with it. Guys, I know computers and internet stuff very well, and this immediately, as soon as he said this, did not make sense to me. If someone hacks your IP, sure, they can package your internet, and they can fucking kick you off your internet and shit, but they can't access accounts that are on devices, which is what he was trying to tell me. And what he was telling me, he was asking me if I had any iTunes cards on hand. I was like, sir, I don't own Apple, it's not my account, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to explain to him what was going on. Did you see that tree bump me higher in the air instead of making me land? So anyway, he's trying to tell me that my IP is hacked and stuff like this. And what he's trying to tell me he needs to do is he needs me to go buy an iTunes card and give him the 16-digit code for it so he can use it to block their IP or something. I don't know. I told him, I said, like, what? Like, that didn't make sense to me. Like, can you repeat what you just said? I'm really confused. Well, like I said, first he asked me if I had one on hand. I said, no, I don't have one. It's not my account. It's not my iTunes. And, you know, all of that happiness. And then he told me, you know, he said, well, do you have a local store near you? And I said, yeah, you know, like, of course I do. I have a local Rite Aid and stuff and dollar stores and whatnot. He said, okay, well, I need you to go to the store and buy an iTunes card. And I'm sitting here like, okay, this has got to be a bad number, like a scammer number, and he's trying to scam me. But I proceed to see what this idiot has to say. Like, I want solid evidence. He tells me I got to go buy the number and give him the 16-digit thing on the back of it. And, sorry, I'm going to load into a game here. And he tells me I gotta give him that so he can use the number to block the IPs from the people that were hacking that were trying to charge my account. None of this made sense, obviously, and I know you guys might not even be keeping up with it because it's wrong. None of it makes sense. By the way, if you guys are in a call right where you think it's a company, it might not even be Apple, it might be Microsoft, Xbox, something like that, and they're asking for a credit card number with the CVC code on the back, that little 3-digit pin, or they're asking you to go buy something, it's most likely a scam. If you ever have to give them a credit card number or spend money, it's most likely a scam. So he's trying to tell me that he needs that code so he can block the IPs and prevent the hackers from hacking me again and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. You need me to go buy an iTunes card so you can use that 16-digit pin to block the IPs from the people that are trying to hack me and use my money. He's like, yes. I'm like, you know, I asked him, I said, can you, and I told him, I said, I know computers and stuff, and that's not adding up to me. I said, can you, in exact detail, explain to me how you are going to, guys, I promise, I'm not a scrub. I normally wouldn't be going these places if I wasn't live commenting. I normally go on, like, Tilted or Salty or Retail or Dusty right now because of the challenge. Week 4 just released, and I gotta get so many kills in Dusty, but I haven't done it yet, so. So I told him, I said, can you explain to me in exact detail how you're going to take that card and use it to block an IP? Because those two things are, like, not related at all. I'm really confused right now. He's like, well, for reasons you may not understand. I was like, dude, I am college educating in computer programming and, you know, IPs and stuff. I think if you explain it to me, I'd have some type of understanding for it. And he tried giving me this bullshit story. He basically repeated what he said before. We're going to use it to block the IP, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, I know you said that, but I said, can you explain to me in detail? I repeated, you know, can you explain to me in detail how you're going to do it? And, you know, he kept saying that I wouldn't understand it. You know, he, like, refused to basically, he was refusing to tell me, like, what he was going to do, I guess. And, yeah, at this point, I obviously, at this point, I way knew it was a scam. I just, like I said, I was literally continuing the call just to basically see what he had to say, I guess. And, finally, I'm like, yo, can I just talk to your supervisor? You know, because in my head, I'm like, if this really is the call center, he's got to have a supervisor, and can I talk to them? He's like, sure, you know, give me one moment, I'll get my supervisor. I wait like a fucking good minute and a half, and he never returned to the call, so I hung up. And then, you know, next thing I know, they call back, I pick up, you know, the guy tells me, you're talking with one of my employees, I'm the supervisor, this and that. You know, I'm like, oh, here we go. And, I basically retell him what happened. And I mean, like, everything. I retell him, like, look, this happened with my buddy's account, I let him use my credit card, blah, 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 blah. All I need to know is what the purchase is for. I don't care about fraudulating, I don't care about nothing like that. It's not fraudulating. It was all me. I just want to know what the purchase was for. And so he proceeds to tell me what the last guy told me, that they need an iTunes card, and you know, my IP was hacked, same thing. And I told him, I said, okay, well, I asked your previous representative the same thing I'm asking you. Can you tell me word for word how you're going to take this Apple credit, a 16-digit code that is unrelative to whatever you're trying to do, to use it to block an IP? Like I said, at this point, I have all day. I'm not doing anything. I'm just curious what this idiot has to say. He says, we're going to take the 16-digit code, and we're going to put it in our computer's program. So, and then he said, then I'll use my employee ID plus your 16-digit code as basically a password. And then we are going to be able to do everything we need to do. You're going to get refunded your money back. Which he, by the way, told me I was getting $125 back, even though that wasn't the amount cost. He told me, you know, I was going to get my money back, and that, he told me I was going to get my money back, and that they were going to be able to block the IP hackers, and all this other craziness. And, you know, I'm like, I was like, that doesn't even, you know, correspond. Like, those two things don't even go together. I was like, why would me, obviously, I don't own Apple, I have an Android, I'm sorry to you haters out there. I don't have nothing against Apple, I mean, they're cool phones. I think it's funny that this so happened to be a scammer from them, though. But anyway, I'm like, why would me as an already paying Apple customer and blah, 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 need to go buy an iTunes card for you to do this for servers that you should already have on hand for free? You know, I proceed to tell him this. And he said, sir, if you would, and he says it angrily. He's not about to, he says it like, sir, if you would just quit being so, uncooperative and, you know, do it and we can get this done and move on with our day. And I said, I'm not doing it. I was like, because I known from the first 10 seconds of the call that you guys are scammers. And I proceeded to sit here and waste your time. I was like, that's why I'm not doing it. You know? And he got all mad. And he's like, oh, well, if you think we're fake or scammers, then I'm just going to block your account right now if you don't do it soon and this and that. And at this point, obviously, I'm like, for one, if you were really Apple, you can't legally block my account. You can't. Like, that would be straight up illegal. Like, really badly illegal. And he said, no, it's not. I'm going to do it right now. I said, go ahead, do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's illegal. You can't do it. I was like, if you're really a rep of Apple and you actually, you know, I'm going to sue Apple. You can't legally block my account without my authentication. I proceed to tell him this. He gets mad. He finally said, he just hangs up. Okay? I call back. I'm like, hey, I was just talking to you about this and that. I was like, I just want to call back and tell you that, you know, you're retarded and you're a scammer. And he just hangs up again. And that was pretty much the story. The moral of the story, guys, is if anyone's asking you to buy something or whatever. Oh, here's a funny thing. I actually called back a couple times because even though I wasn't cussing or yelling, I was still trying to give them a piece of my mind. I was like, look, I don't care how you make a living and this and that. And then they would hang up again. And I would call back. And it's funny because every time I called back, he used a different name. Like the first time he said, thank you for calling App Support. My name is John. How can I help you? And I called back again. He said, thank you for calling App Support. My name is, I can't remember what he said. I think he said, Ken or something, you know, and every time he used a different name, and I just thought that was funny. So, like I said, the moral of the story is if they're ever asking you for money, it's most likely a scam. Guys, don't fall for it. I know a couple people that got scammed. It's very easy to. The funny thing is, had he asked me for an actual credit card to replace, let's say he said, okay, sir, I'm sorry you got charged I'll put the money back on your credit card, but I need like the credit card number and stuff on the back. I probably would have fell for it. In all honesty with you guys, I probably would have. I probably would have fell for that right away. Like, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. Because you don't. You forget that it's really a thing. Anyway, guys, as I was saying, I hope you guys do have a great day. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. And like I said, be sure you're looking out for that, guys. Other than that, though, hope you guys do have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next video.